Welcome to Night Freaks, where we interview DJs, producers, nightlife industry workers, and everyone in between. You can find us on Instagram at night.freaks and Spotify and YouTube at Night Freaks. I hope you enjoy this episode and please keep listening. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Night Freaks. Today, I'm joined by two artists who have been making serious waves in the house music scene. Griffin Dooley and Garrett Roach, better known together as G2B Music. These guys just dropped their latest track, Hey, a high energy cut that's already been getting dance floors moving. On top of that, they've been bringing their sound to some amazing stages, from their killer live set at the Gliderport, and they have upcoming appearances at Same But Different Fest. I'm stoked to dive in to their creative process, their journey as a duo, and what's next. Welcome, guys. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Doing good, dude. Doing good.
Thanks for having us on.
Of course, dude. Of course. Glad to see you guys. Yeah, let's jump right into it. So I normally like to start this off with like kind of just how you got into DJing, what that kind of process was like, and yeah, just give us a little background of you guys and how you got into this kind of industry.
Yeah, you want to start?
Yeah. So I was always I was thankful or grateful to have like an older brother and older siblings who like at a young age like introduced me to like dance music and like house, just like kind of like the frat, like college, like early Chris Lake, like obviously all the dubstep stuff in like the 2014s and like throughout that era, like was very into it as like a young kid. Like I was like I had my iHome like blasting dubstep like crazy, just like crazy shit. And then eventually like it got to college and I didn't really know, like I loved all music, but I didn't really like know exactly what I liked. And then I got to college, went to my first rave, like first real set. It was Fisher at Petco. And like Griff was actually there, like, and we ran into each other and we were like, what the fuck?
And this was before we like became really friends.
Yeah. So like that's kind of like when we first like knew we were both about the music and like the music. And then me and Griff started hanging out a couple years later, just like one summer, and he had like a tiny little board, and like I was just like fascinated because like I went to so many sets, like, but prior to this, just like so many sets, so we like knew what we liked kind of already. So like we were just playing really like tech house stuff.
Sure.
And basically like I just saw he knew how to mix and I was just like fascinated with it. So like I got my own little board like every day, like grinded by myself because I wanted to like get to his level. Um and then obviously we would just mix together for like hours, and like eventually we just like kind of like made it a skill and like kind of like shifted away from like a hobby kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. And then I'd say me, it's similar. I also grew up my whole life. It's like record players, old speakers, old records. My dad is kind of a disco junkie and not a disco junkie, but loves vinyl, and he's always been collecting it. Something like growing up, I remember he had a really, really nice stereo, and he'd have bass, mid, low, high controls. And before I knew what any like the EQing and all that was, like I'd always like have this image in my head and be like twisting knobs and messing around. And I always knew music was something like a part of my life. But it was kind of blocked out because I'd played like sports with Grady actually like my entire life, lacrosse, football, basketball. So it's like when you're doing that your whole life, you miss out on other things. And then eventually I get to college and I stepped away from sports and I get into the social fraternity scene. Of course, house music, DJing, it's like a big part of that culture. And freshman year, the second I got on campus, I had an older buddy who I'll give a shout out to, Adam Alakeli, who's probably like both of our mentors at this point with mixing. But he was this older guy that was in my fraternity and kind of welcomed me in with open arms. And he was like, yeah, like come over, fuck around on my board whenever you want. And I think that was a mistake on his end, opening that up, because I was over every fucking day. Like I'd be in his room and he'd be coming back from class. He's like, dude, you can't be doing this. Like we need some boundaries here.
We need some personal space.
Yeah. Right. So eventually I just I was like, yeah, this is fun. Let's keep DJing. We had buddies in our fraternities that were playing big sets and getting good money for it too. And I'm like, wait, you can also get money. So I'm like, at that point, I'm like, dude, let's start DJing our parties. Um, and it really was just a snowball effect. It's kind of easy for you to get when your head's stuck on something, especially for people like me and Garrett, where like we don't turn away like until
Sure.
we get something out of it or like we're content with it, whatever it is. Um, but yeah, and then you're eventually sophomore year, you're like, hey, Griff, you should start DJing our parties. This DJ, our seniors graduating, like start DJing. And like Garrett was saying, it's a lot of the crowd pleaser stuff. You're in a
Sure,
school, you're
sure.
not playing our stuff now. We
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to
yeah.
play
Definitely.
minimal like shit that's just weird at the end of the day. And we just want people to be like, dude, this is just weird, but it just
Yeah.
works. Like that's kind of like that's what we were going for. And it really happened over time through DJing, and I think it
Sure.
all happened for those 4 years of college. And
Yeah.
super grateful it happened because we were just talking about this like 2 days ago. Like, if we hadn't started DJing and producing, like, there's no inclination in us now that we're out of this youthful setting
Right.
to be like, dude, let's just pick up the computer and start making a beat. It's like,
Yeah.
we're super grateful that we started when we did because it's kept the momentum at like a very, very high pace, I'd say.
Definitely. And I think I like what you said about like, you know, kind of like having a mentor, someone that like just let you come through and do what you want to do
Right.
and learn. And I think like a lot of people will have a like a similar take on that where they have someone that was just like really kind of opened the door for them a little bit and was just like, hey, like you clearly like doing this and I clearly have shit that you can use. So it's like, why don't you just come over and use my shit? You know what I mean? And so it helps you so much too. And like just to have other people around you that know what they're doing maybe a little bit more than you do and can show you the ropes a little bit and be like, you know, just help out a little bit. But so did you guys go to the same college or did you meet after
Yeah.
that? What was that like? Yeah. And where did you guys go?
We went to Chapman University in
Sick.
like Orange County.
Okay, sick. And
Um,
go ahead.
go
No,
ahead.
sorry.
No, yeah, it's just a smaller school in Orange County. Like, so everyone kind of knows everybody. Me
Sick.
and Griff met our freshman year just like in the dorms, and we were like kind of caught like a little bit of each other's vibe, and we are like probably would be good friends if we like
Yeah, yeah.
decided to hang
I
out.
thought I'm pretty sure Garrett's told me he's like he kind of thought I was like a little
I
out,
thought he
out
was a
there.
little, I definitely thought he was a little. Definitely thought he was a little edgy, but like
Yeah.
everyone's got a little edge.
Yeah, right.
Got to, you know?
Yeah, I mean, no, like he was saying though, we've been going to the same shit since freshman year. We've always had the same interests. Like you said, we
No,
saw
we'd run into each other at like
outside lands.
festivals, just like, what up, bro? Like, what's good? And we're just like having a great time.
Yeah.
But like, we're always kind of like like low key, like ravers, like in the back, like just there for the music
Got
and just
to.
like wanted to like chill and just like
Yeah.
listen to the music and not really care about like anything else
Yeah.
going on.
That's great that you said that because like that's my hottest take. My favorite take is like, dude, back middle. Oh,
Yeah.
you'll find me back middle all
So
time
much
of the day.
space.
So much space, no one pushing you. Sounds still
Visuals
great.
are usually
You can
always
see the
better.
whole production. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
100% back middle kind of guy. But
Hey, that's not to say you can't find me just in the fucking pit with
with
some good earplugs, just eating that bass. Like that's also the shit, bro.
Oh man.
But
Yeah.
actually, when the timeline of us like meeting, it was obviously school. But yeah, we would see each other at these raves, and it'd be
Sure.
like we'd had mutual groups. We knew each other, but it wasn't like we were in the close circle, each other's close circles at the time. But it was like one summer, I think it was going into our junior year that we were like really started hanging out. He started coming over. We were going to the beach, getting fucked up like in our college summer days, you know,
Yeah.
and I think we, as like kind of degenerate as it sounds, like we really bonded over that. And like that's how
Yeah.
you usually make a lot of your guy friends in school. Like you end up partying and you don't know one thing about a kid until he gets a few drinks in him and you're
Yep.
both out and you start talking. But it ended up working like that. And like he was saying, we just started mixing together. And I think it was that summer. It was like a few nights where we were like mixing like 8 to 10 hours plus.
Yeah,
And we were like,
no, for
we're like,
sure.
what music were we playing? Like
Yep.
we're struggling now to like keep playing like this new music. And I think that's something it showed us is like we're always trying to find and discover and more importantly, like show people music they haven't heard that's like
Definitely.
non-negotiably good. Like you
Yes.
can't say it's
100%.
bad. Like I don't care if you're my grandma, my mom, like whatever age group, wherever you come from, whoever you are, like just stuff that makes you move. And we're like, yeah, that's what we want to show people. And I
Course.
think we like figured that out as
Yeah,
we
I
just
think
started
we've
hanging out.
gotten to like we mixed for so long and mixed so many tracks that have been rinsed just like whatever, but like by ourselves for 10 hours and we like went through like years of like kind of periods of like tech house and just like
Yeah.
filtering out through the stuff that we're like, okay, this level of production like meets our standard and like because
Mhm.
like a lot of times it's not even about the track, it's just like does it sound like good?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
is it mixed well? Is it produced well? Like can you tell this person's like a pro?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like what you said about like, going out and like meeting your friends and you don't know someone until you go on a sick
Yeah.
one with them and you just fucking
Yeah.
learn everything about that person. You know what I mean? So I think
Yeah.
that's sick. Like that is like my favorite way to get to know people is just go out, couple drinks, leads to whatever. And then, yeah, just end up on a sick one, end up mixing for
Yeah.
8, 10 hours, 12 hours and just like,
Yeah.
no, that's sick. But, so you guys, would you say like junior summer, you guys started getting really close? Is that
Yeah.
what like sparked the idea? Like when did that spark the idea for you guys to like collaborate as a duo?
I think like first it was more like fun and like we had a lot of mutual friends, so like we'd be hanging out pregame, whatever, postgame, and it was like me and him were the guys that would like
Yeah.
pull up with the speakers, pull up with the fucking mixer, and just like start playing music, and we wouldn't give a fuck about like what everyone else is doing. We were just there to just like play music and like have a good time. That's what I was getting to. Is like initially like I was very like optimistic or like honestly like pets I don't even know how like
I think
optimistic
Yeah.
just like that like I was like Griff like you're like a great DJ and like we play sick music like we could be like do this and like eventually I think it was like 3 months after like we just started like doing these like DJ binges I like downloaded Ableton and was like we're gonna make music like we're gonna like all this shit that like Griff was always like looking at me and like, like whatever, like, and I was just like, whatever, just optimistic and like, basically, I had the belief in him that he could be like a DJ. Like, I would be like,
Yeah.
dude, I've been to so many sets and like, you mix better than like a lot of the people I've seen, and we just kind of like slowly started proving to ourselves that like this was like a possible thing.
No,
Yeah.
definitely. That's sick.
And I think, yeah, I was always, I wouldn't say a doubter, but I just didn't want to put myself in the spot of like high and dry. Like you're
Yep.
leaving college, you're like, Griff Garrett, you're sick DJs, and like nothing pans out. And it's like, that's where I think like I do have pride now. And it's like, yeah, I'll get on this podcast, like, because like we have established ourselves through that work like where I don't have to question that anymore but like because we are playing sets at festivals like same but different but like that are reputable well known
Sure.
established so I think it has kind of like Roach has said proven to us like we deserve to keep doing it and I think that's really something that we saw every day, like an improvement, gradual improvement. And yeah, I was kind of not optimistic. I was kind of sketchy about the possibility, but like literally, like Roach was saying, it was like January of last year that Roach downloaded Ableton. And I was like, nah, like I don't think like I'm like, not yet. I'm like, not yet. I don't think that's us. And really in hindsight, it's like why wait?
Why
But
wait? Yeah.
yeah, and I ended up waiting. I was like, I'd go over and mess around with him, but it was like hours a day and nights that he's just on his computer watching videos. And I come back to his house the next day and he's like showing me something that he figured out like on a crazy plugin or a VST, whatever it is. And I'm
Yeah.
like, where the fuck did you figure this out? And I was like, I think his determination really was like the underlying factor and like why we're here, because like I don't think without that it would really be possible for like this whole project to come to life, because he was just like, even though like he said, like I was generally like a little better at mixing, like I've always like been a tiny ahead than Roach, and Roach has definitely caught up. But that was something where I was like, oh, like he's still taking that next step. I'm like, fuck. I was like, to me, that's attractive. And like, I want to be with someone, whether that's like a work partner, a best friend, like even like ending up in like a relationship, like not us, not that, but you know what that I mean in that sense. So I think his determination really showed me a lot. And I think we saw that ball rolling, especially after downloaded Ableton. I was like, okay, dude, fuck. Like, I think he probably made like one sick song that like we could now look back, we're like, that was horrible.
Yeah,
But like then we were like,
Yeah.
that was sick.
This is sick.
And
Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, okay, fuck me. Like I need to get Ableton, and like we need to start this. And I think it only really got serious until we threw our own little like pop-up Halloween event, and we called it Freaky Thursday.
Freaky Thursday.
Yeah, and it was like it was honestly it it like did a really good job. We sold like over 800 tickets.
Like literally by
Yeah.
ourselves. Like
Yeah.
everyone, like we had so many people telling us like, oh, it's harder than you think, like, and then we were just like, let's just try
Let's do
to
it.
do it.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens. And honestly, we were like surprised by how well it
Right.
turned out. Like
Sure.
it wasn't perfect, but it was like we sold
Hey,
tickets.
you got to take that first step, you know what I mean? And just like really,
100%.
really start doing it. But it also seems like, Gary, like you just seem like a super, by our conversations, seems like you're a very optimistic dude. And I feel like that's what's great too, is like even sometimes like with sometimes like that blind optimism, you know, like you don't know if it's going to work out, but you can really believe in something and just keep pushing forward and like keep doing it. So I think that's great. And I think like that is what it takes to be able to make it doing this and being in this industry is just like I was talking to a buddy of mine a little while ago, Max Coletto, and his take is like it's the long game, you know, like if you're down to stick it out and you're down to keep doing this for 10, 15, 20 years, like look at Seth Troxler, Carl Cox, all these dudes who are just like still there, still kicking, like it really just is the last man standing, you know what I mean? And just like who's really down to keep doing this, to keep being persistent and stay on the grind for literally as long as possible. And so I think that's sick that, you know, you got that optimism and you're ready to grind. And yeah, dude, it seems like you guys got something really cool going on.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah,
And
of
also
course.
agree with that.
So let's hop into something a little different. So you guys both currently live, Griff, you live in San Diego. Gary, you're living in LA, right?
Yeah.
So production wise, how do you guys, are you sending ideas back and forth? Are you hopping on a call and working together? Are you working separately and just sending it back and forth to each other? What's your guys kind of process when it comes to production and studio work?
Yeah. I mean, at first, since we went to college together, like just starting like chronologically, it started in college. We lived probably like 5-minute walk from each other, so we
Dope.
were with each other every day, whether that be mixing or producing. But on the producing end, it was pretty easy for us to just get ideas down when we're living right next to each other. And it would be simple stuff as just literally I made a cool idea, and then I just send that file over email. He'd do some work, I'd do some work. And I think at first we kind of approached it as like, since he did so much studying and work on like the actual production and mixing technique, he kind of took over a lot of the mastering and like the actual
Sure.
quality of the production, and I was taking lead on like idea. And over time I think it kind of just blended into just a ball where I was like, shit, I need my stuff to sound as good as Roach's, like on my individual end.
Sure.
So I think that's when obviously the project really started too. We came together like we need to share our brains and put it onto one DAW. And after college, it obviously has made it hard for us to make music together. But there was one instant that really put a halt on sharing music, because I one time we were making a really cool edit of, it was I think a Tyler Creator like sticky edit. We were just like, dude, this has a sick vocal, like all of our girlfriends love it. Like we're still in college. This is something like we could incorporate our sound into a song that's still poppy. And we made the file on my computer. And when I was going to share the file, like zip it up and everything so we could actually export it to him, when I was saving all my files, somehow in saving them, I don't know, a button I clicked, what happened? Some action happened that all my sample files, literally all my entire computer, were just stripped, gone.
Oh,
So I'm left with the bare bones of like some MIDIs that like through plugins like VST and like, or I mean, through Diva and like Silent. And I'm like, fuck, I only have like ideas and melodies and all these songs that I made.
right.
Um, so it kind of scared me to send music from that point because all my previous work was just erased with like the few samples that carried the whole song.
Sure.
And that stopped sharing music and we kind of took a second. And then I think, I don't even know what happened. I was just kind of like, I'm being a little pussy about it. I need to just like do it again. And then we started sharing music, but it's kind of just been that. Now that we're out of school, it's just like, I have a good idea. We'll try to share the file, just send it back and forth. But I'm here with him now and we're trying to do more like music retreats, take a weekend just for us two to make a beat or two or three, however many we could get done on this computer like we're on now. So we kind of have a dedicated computer to G2B's project, which is awesome now. So it makes workflow easy.
And like something to add is like it took a long time to like we would sit down and try to make a beat so many times and just nothing. Like we would try to make, or like we'd have great ideas and we'd get distracted or focus on something else that's not important. And then I think just like eventually we just did it so much that we kind of understood like how we worked. And like also we have like really similar like music taste and style, and we really like the old like we're both really into rock and just like the vibe that you get from like these, almost just like 80s rock, 90s rock, even like 2000s rock, just like um so we kind of know the vibe we're trying to go for now, and it's a little easier to just like get the idea down, find the sounds you like, and just like run with them, make a track with it. Because you really like the less is more when it comes to like the music production stuff. You don't want to overcomplicate stuff. The simpler the song is, the better it usually is.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's cool too that you have that whole computer now ready to go, like set for, just this G2B stuff. And I think that's really great. And yeah, dude. And what's your process like a lot of the times? Like when you start, like what are some plugins that you guys are using a lot? Like what's kind of like just your thought process when it comes to making tracks? Is it like loop oriented? Is it sample packs? Like what are you guys really using to start like push your sound?
I think we really like I think our like something that we should keep kind of pursuing and like make it like kind of like our thing is just like deep sample diving, and just like we we both will just like find these instrumentals and just like listen for hours just like trying to find just like that one little sample that is like cool. You can go on Splice and just like find whatever the samples that like make a good house beat and just do that. But it's like we're looking for sounds that just like live sounds, recorded sounds that give you like a feeling that like wow, you can tell. Whoa.
Yeah.
No, you can tell that the person like really took the time to like go sample diving, and like that's what's most impressive, especially as like someone who's really into it and like has heard all the acapellas, has heard all the stuff. When you hear a new song in an artist and you can like that sample and you're like, damn, like he probably had to do like a deep dive or like throw in 400 different loops to like
Make it work.
find that one. You know what I mean?
So I think, but I think it does start with like that one sample for us.
Sure.
And I think really if we're opening up a blank project, it does start if we're going really groovy, we've started focusing solely on drums first.
Nice.
And we're trying to incorporate like that live drum sound, give that more a human feel instead of like literally like analog digital, like where it's robotic sounding. So
Yeah.
creating that feeling in the project file is it's like a rewarding thing because you're like, dude, it sounds like I could literally just be playing this live right now, but it's coming through like a robot, so to speak. So it's like being able to do that is like kind of the focal point, I think, of our drive in creating music. But I'd say, yeah, it starts with a good sample, usually working on drums. Um, Drums or bass. I think those are the main components to most tracks that move people the most. And you have to have drums, obviously, like that are all the swing is in line with like your bass and it just everything just like moves
Mm-hmm.
because it's so easy to just like anybody can drag like 10 drum sample loops and like be like, yeah, I made a song. But like we think like the real rewardingness in production is like creating that, yeah, using loops is great, whatever, but like really exploiting the DAW, like Ableton for its capabilities. And I think some plugins that have helped us do that are like things like Tantra. It's like a super great textury, like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a
It's like a
texture
mod, like
atmosphere
it has,
modulator.
it's like a, it has multiple effects in one like plugin, so
Right.
it just like
Sick.
sounds like very like, I don't know, if we were in like a studio with a bunch of different like effects panels, we're all just like fucking with them
Pressing
separately.
one button to the
Yeah.
other, and it's just like, why is this sounding good? So Tantra, I think, is like something we use a lot for texture and underlying like atmosphere.
Sure.
Put it on like a cool drum loop that maybe doesn't work in the original loop. You put Tantra on it, and it just gives like that subtle texture you didn't know you needed, but you're like, you hear it, you're like, yeah, this track, it fucking needs that. So Tantra is good. For bass and like synth stuff, I think we really only use, I mean, the main three are Diva, Silent, and Serum.
Yep.
For me, working on this computer, Silent is by far my favorite plugin. It's just the most raw. Like we compare it kind of like the old Dirty Bird sound, like Claude Van
Sick.
Stroke, old
Yeah.
days that are just like, it's like really pushing the forefront of like house music of just like weird incorporating weird noises that
Sure.
don't belong really in anything else. So I think those weird moogie synths are really like how we're achieving a lot of this stuff we want to ultimately hear. Like we're
Yeah,
making
we're
stuff that
like,
we want to hear. So
that's what
100%.
we like. We were very into like the early Dirty Bird and like
Sick. Shout out.
that
yeah,
yeah, that kind of like tech house, because we were like, damn, like these sounds are so like they're, it's not just like your typical tech house like remix. It's
Yeah,
like
no.
these guys sound like they're producers. These guys
Mhm.
found these sounds or like found a way to like mess with the effects or like the little panels on like a synth correctly and just like make all this weird shit, and that's like inspiring to us to like listen to just like a weird ass sound and be like it's honestly like we've been thinking about just like maybe we should go like to like an audio like design or whatever, just like learn how to like actually do these synths.
Sure.
Right.
Or
Sure.
like make sounds.
And I think like you were saying, that early Dirty Bird stuff is just so sick. Like I feel like a lot of times now you hear a lot of like really similar tracks and a lot of stuff that just really sounds kind of basic and empty and really
Yeah.
similar a lot of the times. And those tracks are just like super super sick. Like I love Dirty Bird, been a big fan forever, and like yeah,
Right.
just those weird noises are sick. They're always awesome. Like shout out Walker and Royce. Walker and Royce
Yeah,
always have that
literally.
weird shit. Like, and so
Literally,
yeah,
bro.
I'm with
Yeah.
you guys on just those weird noises that just kind of scratch the itch, you know, and like really
Yeah.
just do something for you. But yeah, let's get into the track you just dropped. So you guys dropped Hey on July 18th. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? Like what the inspiration was for that, why you dropped that track, and not another track, or what that was kind of like?
Yeah. I mean, that was, when was that? The idea I think came about like, it it was shortly after we graduated, and it originated on my computer where I was just like, I don't know, it was freshly out of college and I just had this like it's just a new outlook on life kinda, and it wasn't that I was heading in a direction to make a song that's like we weren't trying to make the song to be like about this message about like being young and like graduating, like leave those kids alone. Like it kind of captures this vibe of like we're entering the world now, like we're not kids anymore. And like it's
Sure.
like we're like it's kind of a cool like metaphor almost, like and it's almost speaks to like what our life we're in now. But I think it really just started with like Garrett was saying, it's like hearing that one sample or like hearing the bass line in an old funk or rock song or a rap song, and you're like, that needs a 4x4 beat on it and just like
Yeah.
steady groove, and you're just like you
Yeah.
can't stop moving your head.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
think
yeah, I think it just started. I think it just started with the sample of like
yeah.
brick in the wall, and we're like, dude, we've heard so many. It's like we haven't heard like a really stripped back, truly minimal song that still holds the original song's feeling without overdoing it and ruining it. So I
For sure.
think it really just started with like hearing that sample. You're,
Yeah.
hey, teacher, leave the like that's just like such a powerful
Mhm.
vocal that
Yeah.
it's like everybody knows, and then you throw it on a different beat that still grooves. You're like, yeah, that's it works. But
I think also just like we weren't just with a song like that, it's like, yeah, everyone makes edits to like old songs
yeah,
and stuff, but like
Sure.
it kind of feel like the song just has like a different kind of energy. Like to me, it's like it's different. Like I've never heard like a song remixed where it's like it kind of incorporates a lot of our vibes that we're trying to go for. And it's not like it's not a perfect song, but we knew that like it kind of emulated the vibe that we wanted to like go towards. So it was kind of like a no-brainer in being like the first song we posted.
yeah,
For
Even
sure.
if it wasn't mixed perfectly, even if it
right,
doesn't sound the best, like we just knew that that kind of like rocky, just like different, not super tech house, but just like has this own
yeah.
its own kind of style was like a direction that could start us off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's sick too, like what you just mentioned about like knowing that maybe it's not perfect, maybe it's not mixed like as
Mhm.
well as it could be or whatever those things. Like I think that's huge, especially for people like just starting out and really just
Right. Yeah.
putting tracks out there. Like it's so discouraging sometimes to like look at your own tracks and listen to your own tracks over and over and over and be like, it's not perfect, it's not perfect. But kind of just like getting past that hump of needing everything to be perfect instead of just like getting your stuff out there, people will start listening to it and just progressively getting better and better and better at it instead of just sitting on these tracks that, probably sound great, but you're just too scared to put them out because of you think it's not perfect or what other people are going to think or all this other
Mhm.
this outside noise that really just doesn't matter like at all, you know what I mean? And so I think that's sick that like you're just getting that stuff out there and really just pumping those tracks out. But what are some new projects or releases that you guys are looking forward to? Is there anything you can talk about? What do we got going on?
We just made a really, really. I hope
Yeah,
it's sick. It was a late night last night.
we
We
haven't listened to
haven't
it
listened to it this morning, but we called it Midnight Groove,
Sick.
or we're gonna call it Midnight Groove. But it's
it has a lot of we
yeah,
just dragged in a lot of live sounds and it didn't for a while it didn't work and then we just like filtered through a bunch of or started deleting little sections of these like live recordings and like made it something that like it sounds kind of like someone's like
playing.
drumming
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
live and it
Dope.
has its own space. The drums have their own space where it sounds like we like a lot of these they're like funk or like disco like an
probably funk and
artist
disco.
like an artist I really like is like Midnight Generation and they're like
Sure.
they're like a real band
Yeah.
but they're making like four to the floor house beats.
Hmm.
But they're like they have a drummer, they have like guys playing a little tambourine or
Hmm.
whatever
Definitely.
and like it just gives a song so much more character than just
Right.
like finding a loop but like just things that sound like they're recorded live.
Yeah.
hit different.
Yeah. So it's that. I think, yeah, we have Midnight Groove. We're honestly sitting on a ton of stuff. And I think it kind of goes back to what you're saying about like just putting it out there, not really having these standards yet because like we're so early on. Like it would be a disservice to us having those standards. And I think that's something where Roach also is very good about like, dude, let's just put our music out. And I think that was the first thing where it was like, hey really has encouraged us to just be like okay with posting songs where it's like only a producer is going to hear that one little part of the kick and bass that
The
aren't
negative
meshing,
1%
right
of listeners
right
are gonna listen to
right
that and be like, well, da, 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 da,
so
da, you know what I mean? So
yeah
you're exactly right.
yeah so it's like to our mom and dad, our brother and sister, our best friend, um they're usually going to just be like, dude, this is fucking
This is
sick.
so sick. Yeah.
So yeah, so I think we've sat on a lot of music because of that. But I think it's been for the best, like for us to really originate and create an original sound.
Sure.
Because I think that's been something we've always kind of had passion for, is just keeping it uniform.
Yeah.
Not making like it's cool to be, I think it's good to be versatile, but I think we're really trying to just establish our sound right now.
Definitely.
And yeah, but some songs that we're working on, like this one that we just made last night, Midnight Groove, um it kind of has like a Brazilian twang to it.
Sure.
You can imagine, like I literally was telling Roach, like you can, and I'm sure lots of kids say this, but like I was like, I really could imagine, or at least wanted to imagine, a DJ like Beltran.
Yeah.
Literally rinsing this shit like at an afters 4 a.m. It's dark, it's sweaty, like lights are red, and it's just like what's happening.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's I honestly like had a little freak out during part of the song because I was like, this is like I'm like, Roach, this is like, I really hope when we wake up and listen to this is like
It sounds
the
as good
sickest
as it
song
does
ever.
right
Because like
now.
you have those times where you make music go on bends and you're like, dude,
Yeah.
this is sick, and you wake up and
And
it's
you're
like
like,
horrible.
what the
But
fuck did I make?
yeah, yeah. So this one, it's very very moody and sounds live.
I think something that helps too is like we listen to like so much underground SoundCloud, just
Sure.
like tracks that have 5 likes, and like
Those are the
we're
best
like
ones.
yeah, just like things that people don't hear, and like you're just, it's like inspiring and stuff. You'll hear this song and like you're like, how did they make that? Or like, dang, like this person's such a small DJ, but they're like making a sound like that, like sounds cool. Like, and then you go check out their shit, and it's like we're trying to make songs that like someone who's really into music like scrolls at us and they're like, damn, like these guys are serious about like their production.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
So,
like when you dig too and you like find those tracks, like it feels fucking sick. You're like, you find that track with like under 10 likes and you're just like, yup, this is the one.
You're like,
no
I
one's
found it.
no
I
one's heard
found
this
it.
thing. Yeah, no, and that's sick. And I know you guys probably get the same feeling, but like playing, like that's one of my favorite things, is just like playing music that people don't know that they like until they hear it and they're like, whoa, what is this?
Right.
You know, and they're
I
just
think
go.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
I was
no,
just
go,
gonna
go,
say,
go.
I think a lot of DJs and party goers have also kind of forgotten that it is about, it's like I'm not here for the money ultimately. Like clearly not. We're not making money off of this. This is like this is our fun project. So it's like if I still have this drive to do it, what's the underlying reason? It's like I want to show people new music. Like, and that I said earlier, it's undeniably good. And that Seth Troxler, you brought him up, but his interview always resurfaces of him like in 2014 at Tomorrowland at the main stage. And it's like hard style.
Yeah, he's like, dude, what do you call it? Like Sonic
Seth,
Rape? Yeah. Sonic Ear Rape or whatever. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I see that. I literally saw that the other day and I was like, bro, this is like, it always gets more and more right. I was like, dude.
Yeah. So I think it's a big part is kind of that, and in creating our sound, we're trying to do that. And we want to play music that fits into our sets or even we've ran out of music to play that we like and we want to keep playing without being redundant. We're like, fuck, now it is time for us to make music like that. So I think that is also part of the process. But more than anything, it's like showing people music they haven't heard that's gonna make them move. And I think that's like that is what it's all about. And like you can get caught up in the influencer side of it, the business side of it, the legality side. Like there's so many different aspects about it. But like at the end of the day, like music's meant to move people, and like anybody can hear like Toxic by Raji Band and Chris Lake a million times. It's like, the song, the production is fucking insane, but having that new stuff is just like I have more appreciation for it.
We have like a thing like against like songs that it's like songs that blow up or anything just like automatically kind of turn us off a little bit.
I'm with you on that.
We don't want to even if we love the song and like we heard it before anyone else did. It's like if it starts getting rinsed, we are like, dude, we can't play it. Like
that's everybody. That's everybody.
No, 100%. And I like what you said about like like party goers, you know, kind of losing track with like really being there for the music, because I take a lot of inspiration from the Josh Baker podcast. I don't know if you guys listen to that, but it's super good. Yeah, super sick. And there's one thing, it was a couple episodes ago, I think it was one with Rossi, that he mentioned. He was like, the art side of DJing and producing and curating these parties and doing these things versus the service side is so different, because a lot of the times people will come for a service. Like let's take John Summit, for example. You go and see John Summit, he's gonna play his bangers because that's what you came to hear, you know. Like I bet he probably doesn't want to play all of them, and he wants to play like this different shit and this weird stuff that he's finding or he's producing or whatever. Same thing with like, let's say Dom Doll or whatever, someone who's just like really at the top of the game right now. It turns into somewhat of a service where it's like almost like you're going to see a concert, kind of, where it's like, okay, the band's gonna play all their sick tracks, and it's kind of the same thing. And it's like you do lose some of that like almost like euphoric and some of those like and just like what you go there for, just to hear new stuff and like new people and other things like that. And if you go and you keep seeing the same artists and they just keep rinsing the same tracks over and over and over, it's kind of like you feel I like, at least me, like I feel bad for them. I'm like, it sucks that you guys have to play like all these tracks over and over, because that's what people want. And if you don't do that, then everyone's gonna hop on X or Instagram or whatever it is and just be like, yo, John Summit's fucking trash, blah blah blah, he played all this shit, he didn't play Shiver, he didn't play, you know what I mean? And so it kind of takes away from like being able to put your art out there and like really just do what you want to do for the love of you doing it, versus people coming to see you because you're super popular and they want to see all your hits. And so I think that's kind of a good take on it. And I just hope that it kind of comes back to where, you know, guys can play what they want and everyone can do what they like and other stuff like that. But definitely. So let's get into same but different. How did that come about? How did you end up booking that? Like, you just talk to us a little about that one.
So we got like a rant, like we literally like we graduated, and it's always like, all right, let's start DMing clubs, like let's start like getting on this shit. And it's like we're always like waiting for something to happen, or we want to make for like a couple more tracks or like whatever, get more established before we start DMing places. And like throughout this whole journey, we've been making like really good connections.
Sure.
And I was literally just telling Griff, like, we're always in the, like, we're in the back middle or like in the back of the set. And we would recognize DJs, you know, and no one knows like these DJs. Like, I remember like we were in the back of a set at Beyond Wonderland a couple years ago, and Night Funk just finished his set, and he's just in the back chilling by himself, just there listening to music, like he's by himself. And Griff's always just the type of guy to just go like right up to him and start like actually having a conversation. And like when you approach DJs and people you look up to like that, first of all, they're like flattered and like love the fact that they have real fans that like their shit and like are passionate about what they're making. We've been building these connections, and just like it seems like we weren't doing a lot for like outreach and stuff, but we were making solid connections, and people were like slowly but surely knowing us. and I had gone to what was it? What's that?
Kyle's? Was it Goodfellas?
Yeah, but no, what's that Cal Poly festival?
Slow or Shebang.
Shebang.
Yes.
I went to that and I met a lot of cool people. I went there with my girlfriend, and my girlfriend's roommate and boyfriend are like DJs, and like I've been fortunate enough to like establish like DJs in like LA, and so I've been fortunate enough to like meet a lot of cool people through them. Um and it is connections, like they all, it's like
Dude, it's all
70%.
connections.
It's
Like
just like
it's all connections,
yeah,
and you mentioned the DMs and stuff, and like it's hard
yeah,
to get through that way, you know. It's like
yeah.
no one knows who you are. No one,
Mhm.
like, they just see a message when they probably get a million
Right.
messages like that
Yeah.
in the same day. So putting a name to a face and being able to just like talk to people genuinely too is such a big thing.
Mhm.
And I think especially in today's day where it's like everyone's locked into their phone and just always on the
Mhm.
phone, whatever it is, like those genuine conversations from like human to human are huge, and they actually mean so much more, especially if you do have like a really good chat with someone or a really good conversation. Like it moves weight, at least especially for me. Like if I
Mhm.
talk to someone like and I really talk to them, I'm probably thinking about it the next day or whatever. I'm like, damn, that person was super sick. Like I wonder what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
so I think that's really huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the timeline though, really, to Roach's point of all these connections, what he was going to bring it to is he had met this guy Max Height, who's Tiki's Music. It's a pretty well established collective on the West Coast, generally speaking. Definitely mainly SoCal.
Sure.
But he's thrown stages at festivals, and he's been doing it for a few years. And I originally met this guy at Wonderfront
Word.
2 years ago, or two Wonderfronts ago, at I forget what the stage was called, but it was like the electric
Yeah,
stage.
yeah,
And I'd met him do it through doing work or artist management work through Sonus Club that I've
yeah. Okay.
been with for the past year and a half for who is it? Informal and Sociomosh. And ended up meeting Max then. Didn't really like know him, get to talk, didn't know it's like he was really serious about this. Didn't really know he was the main guy of this whole event company, the Tiki's.
Sure.
And then time passed, didn't think much of it. Roach, like he was saying, he's had these mutuals and
I met him at Shebang, and like
yeah.
immediately like I could tell that the music he liked was like the music I liked, and then we were just like, I told him I started that I make music and that we have like our duo or whatever, and he was like, I got his number. He was like, yeah, send me tracks whenever. And then like a few weeks go by, and it's like Griff's talking about like, oh, Max from Tiki's is DMing us. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know Max, like who Max is. And then like eventually we got on a Google Meet, and I'm like, oh wait, like
I
bro,
know
like what's
Max.
good?
Yeah.
Like I can't believe like you're the guy, like, and he was the boy, and he was actually from, I'm from like Portland, and
Okay.
he's older, and he's from Portland, and you don't meet a lot of guys from Oregon out here in
Sure.
LA. So like automatically that was like a talking point. And then he just like cold DM'd us. I think
Yeah.
one of
Well,
our friends put in a good word,
Nice.
and then like that kind of closed the deal. He DM'd us, listened to our SoundCloud, and really liked our stuff, so wanted us to play. Like,
yeah. So
Cool.
it was like a matter of right place and right time for
Yeah.
us where
100%.
we've been doing outreach like Roach has said, but it's like we're also not trying to just play at bars. Like
Right.
we're keeping a standard, and it's like we're still trying to find the balance of what to accept and what not to accept,
Sure.
to either in terms of, like I just said, keeping a standard and not like selling yourself short and just keeping yourself as the hometown DJ.
Knowing when to say
So,
no is a huge thing. Like
right.
100%. Because
So
you
I
can just
think
get stuck in
that's
that loop of just playing this bar,
right.
this bar, this bar, and just not being able to break out of that, you
Yeah.
know?
And then started over.
we also like realized that pretty fast, like doing some of these events, and we're lucky that we're Orange County, and just SoCal is a hub for like people that actually like fuck with house and
Yeah.
like
Definitely.
do cool events. But like we learned pretty fast that like we never want to do the events where we have to sell our own tickets or
Sure.
like because we're just like, dude, honestly, like we put in the work to be like DJs and like find this music and do all this shit, do all this
Make the
work,
music.
make music, and like you guys should you it's honestly like when we run at events and like there's a potential to get like a cool artist, it's never about like the money or anything. It's like
Sure.
we just want the best artist playing the
Mhm.
best music, and we would be lucky to have a great artist
Right.
playing in front of our crowd. So
Definitely.
like it's just like
It's the same idea.
why do you
Don't
want
sell yourself short.
yeah, it's like we're not gonna sell you your tickets. Like you should be like lucky to have people that care so much and that want to put on a good
Right.
like a
Show.
good set or whatever.
Because that will
Definitely.
bring the people. So yeah, and like going to a bar, it's like any DJ can go to
Yeah,
that.
any
People aren't
DJ.
going to
100%.
bars too.
Yeah.
They're going to the bar to watch people like us. If we told our buddies, hey, we're playing at this bar, it's like those are the people that are going to the bar
Sure.
to see you, not your fan base that hears that you have a set. It's like no one's inclined to really to go to a
Yeah.
bar as much as like the club, that experience. So yeah, knowing when to say no. I like that you said that. I was trying to find that the term, whatever the saying for that situation, but we're fortunate enough that yeah, for the same but different, it was very natural, very organic. Roach and I just had previously met the guy in the past, so we
Yeah.
had these subtle foundation of knowing each other, and then yeah, we threw in a desert rave in May, and the guy that helped lead the production is helping out with the production for this stage at same but different,
Sick.
and he
And who's that?
that just all worked. His name's Conrad. He's a really talented kid. I just did the open air set with him actually.
Oh, sick.
So yeah, he kind of took charge of like the production. He always is. When he has a vision, he's glued to it and he's
Sure.
getting it done. And when a guy like him, who's as really talented and like successful as he is in film and like production, you're like, I trust him.
Take the
Let him do
reins.
it.
Yep.
And then you're like, dude, how can I help you? And
Yeah.
he's done the same for us. I think he's noticed us, our eagerness to help him and just like want more and more
Of course.
success for us and the people around us. And he put in a good word and timing was right because we had just followed Tiki's on Instagram.
Yeah.
So and 3 hours later, it's like 2-3 in the morning. They followed us and DM'd us. We're like, this is sick. This is a potential set. And yeah, got
Well,
on
yeah,
a
and
call, sealed the deal.
I think what
So-
you guys have been talking about too of just like meeting people, talking to people, like word of mouth is so big in this industry. And also just having a good reputation of just being like a good hang, like someone that you can kick it
Yeah.
with and just being a chill person, you know, because there are so many people out here that are DJing very good, you know? And so what are going to be those things that set you apart of just like, you know, besides the music, right? So like just being chill, being someone that like
Right.
you can go grab a beer with and like sit and chat with for a couple hours, you know what I mean? And I feel like those are a lot of the times what kind of sets people apart is just like being nice, being cool, you know, and just really being
100%.
open to anything. And also, like you said, right place, right time. A lot of it is luck too, like just being in the right spot at the right time, but also it's putting yourself in those positions to be in the right place at the right time. If you're sitting at home doing fuck all, you're obviously not going to be in the right place at the right time. But if you're out there doing stuff, meeting people, talking to people, going to events, eventually there's going to be something where it all collides and all the work you've been doing will turn into something bigger. You know what I mean? And so I think that's huge. And just going out, putting your name out there, talking to people, you know, just always staying on the grind of whether that's making music, going to events, meeting people who can help you now, or meeting the people that can potentially help you 5 years down the road. You know, you never know who you're going to meet at one of these shows that 5-10 years down the road is going to be huge, be doing all these different things, you know. So I think it's great that you guys have that mentality of just getting out there, talking to people, you know, just really forming those connections. Cause I think like a lot of it too is just forming genuine connections with people. Like I fucking hate the word networking because I just hate it.
No,
But
I
I
was
think
literally,
like
bro.
yeah, just like making friends. I think that's the biggest
Yeah.
thing of just like people that you'd want to go hang out with, go catch a set with, you know, and like that's huge in this industry.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think that's where some DJs miss the mark and they go to a party or a pregame and they're like, I got a network, like I got a
Yeah.
network. And it's like bro, just like be you, be chill,
Right.
be like a cool person, be someone who's like interesting, just be yourself. And people will get lost in like, oh, I gotta go talk, I gotta go put my name out there, I gotta go network. And it's like for us, it's always like wait, like be chill, notice that someone that is there that you want to talk to, wait for like the right opportunity, go
Sure.
approach them and be like humble and like a fan and not just someone who's trying to like obviously network, you know what I
Right.
mean? Just like be a student, not like just some like I don't know, like
Kiss ass.
kiss
Yeah,
ass.
no,
Yeah. You know
100%.
what I
I
mean?
think like too, especially in LA, a lot of it is like it's somewhat of a game. Sometimes it's where like, what can I get from you and what can I give you? And I feel like there
Yeah.
are a lot of people who are really genuine about that and are like ready to help out, ready to, help you get to your goals, and how can we kind of exchange goods, you know what I mean? But on the flip
Mhm.
side of that, there are people who just want to fucking take everything you got and give you nothing in return. So a lot of times too,
100%.
it's like just finding those people that are like genuine people that you do really get along with, and you can see yourself like working with them in the future, or that whole list of things. But yeah, I think a lot of it too is like what you were saying, just being cool, being yourself, and not
Yeah.
like not being that guy who just walks up is like, yo, like this is my music, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Like
this is
no one
me.
wants to
Yeah. It's
no
like,
one wants to
yeah.
hang out with that fucking guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, yeah, just yeah, bro, exactly, bro. It's just like being cool and like actually just like what I was saying, just being someone that you can go grab a beer with and sit down and
Yeah.
grab lunch and just chat for like fucking an hour or whatever it is, and just being able to do that, which I think is cool. But all right, we're just about done here. We'll get into a couple like little fun quick fire questions. What's something crazy that has happened at one of your gigs that you guys just like remember that like sticks out to you?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind was at that Disco Doom set in Joshua Tree. Like we're playing the closer, and it's like a moment. Like we're lit. Like just like played a great set, and we knew we like had played a good set. Um, and like there's like the inflatable like beach balls in the crowd, and like there's someone, bro, like
Just throwing
straight up
them.
like
Hitting them.
volleyball, like yeeting them at the stage. And like I actually got caught like on the face, like hard. And like I had glasses on and took them off, and I was like, bro, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like,
And then it happened to
again.
me. It
And, like,
happened to me after, and I think it hit the decks, and you hear the like you hear the deck
No.
just scratch. And I ended up when we were posting this set, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm editing this out. Like we did not do this.
This is not on us.
Like I was like, I'm gonna edit that out. And that was also at that event. It was just in a public lot, and then there were just
Sure.
like
oh yeah, that's
random sketchball locals, or
like Mad Max.
We'll keep that out, but they were like
Joshua Tree.
they were just
like
desert goons.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, like-
that's the only way to describe it. And they just pulled up, and it's a public, it's not private. Anybody
Sure.
could show up. We can't say no if people show up.
Yep.
Because it was on open land. Like it's
Right.
just like we didn't have. It's like, so what can you do? Then they just started showing up, and they were just like, they were having fun. They didn't mean any bad, but they were just older dudes, and they had their beer guts out, and they're like, literally, like me and Roach are in the back, and it's like a set or two before ours, and I'm like, are they on the fucking stage, dude? And there's just one guy right next to the DJ, and he's just like big old beer gut, like probably like spinning the fourth CDJ with his gut. It was like, I was like, dude, I was like, what is happening?
No, Griff was like tweaking before.
I got
I was like, bro,
yeah.
just chill. Like they're not gonna
Yeah.
fucking come up and like kill you while you're doing our
Yeah,
stuff.
I was like, dude, I get tweaky at shows, but yeah, that, and then I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, Devin, I had a roommate that was really like, I wouldn't say like soul type of black kid, but he's got that soul, and you can tell he's like an old soul.
Sure.
But this is my roommate Devin, lived with him for a year, was in the same pledge class in my fraternity, and he was always the rap kid, just like just rap. It was a lot of 90s and like
Definitely.
underground, like it was good stuff. And he was he's never into the house music, but his senior year he got to deal with me and Roach mixing nonstop, and it eventually became a thing where he was like just getting hammered and hanging out with us, and he's just like in the corner just like dancing, like, getting weird.
Yeah,
we're like,
hella video.
we love this, and we could send the clip for you to add on in the
Yes,
podcast
please.
for like a good blurb. I'll send you it, but there's a clip of Devin where he's at one of our sets. It was at a Shock event. These guys we DJ for a lot that are a student founded like collective,
Yeah.
and we really take pride in their work and like appreciate it. But he would always go to our shows. I'm like, Devin, he's like always a supporter at the end of the day, even though he didn't really like always fuck with our music and like just generally speaking house music. But we have a video of him where he's just like chugging his drink. He's like, give me more, like I need it, and he's just on the drop, like going crazy.
Yeah, that's fun. But that's another thing that like just going to these sets and like being there for the music, and then like we went to a Walker and Royce a year ago, or like a couple years ago, and like we just hear, which one was it? Was
the
it
tall? I don't
tall
know.
one? What-
I don't know. It was
the tall-
the
the
tall,
tall
skinny one.
he
Yeah.
would, like
Sam?
a drop would play,
Yeah.
and he'd just be like, oh,
And you hear the
like, like, and we were just like, bro, that's fucking us, bro. Like,
yeah,
like he's just like in his 30s or whatever,
40s,
40s,
yep.
and he's just plays a beat, and he's just like, oh,
Dirty.
But yeah, I don't. Fortunately enough, we haven't had anything where we're like
Too crazy.
fucked up.
Too bad.
no.
Yeah, no USBs like
Yeah.
shitting the bricks.
That's good.
No, nothing getting shut. I mean, that one EXO set, we also got our set cut. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if we were like redlining or whatnot. I'm not gonna say we were. We were not doing that. But they like cut our set 15 minutes short, and they're like, "You're done. You're done." And everyone, like, the lights just go on. And we were like, "What the fuck?" Like, we had 15 more minutes. Like, we were getting into like the good shit, but yeah,
The
thank
deep
God.
cuts.
Thankfully, nothing really bad. Anything detrimental has happened, and we
Yeah.
pray that it stays that way. So
Smooth sailing. Well, all right, dude.
Yeah.
This has been a sick interview. I'm gonna give you guys a second to promo. Tell the people what you got going on, where they can find you, how they can listen to you. Yeah, just drop your stuff.
yeah. Check us out on Instagram. It's G2.
yeah. Restart that. Restart.
Check us out on Instagram. It's G2B Music. I think we just made our YouTube account and we posted that open air set.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, unfortunately. I was moving, so Griffin took one for the team and went and played a set by himself. But definitely caught our vibe, and he knew what to play. So check that out on YouTube and SoundCloud.
Yeah. What else? We're
Same but different. We're playing September 28th. It's a Sunday in Lake Paris, California, and we're playing a nighttime set. It's going to be an hour-and-a-half set, and we're super stoked for that.
Yeah, we're already curating a playlist.
Going to play a lot of new music, a lot of hot tracks, a lot of stuff that we like. And yeah, we're pumped for that. And
I think other than that, I'd say, what are we going to release? What did I call it? Lose It? Not Lose It.
Midnight Groove.
No, the other one. What's your name?
Feel It.
Yeah. We have probably 2 tracks that we're gonna release. Definitely releasing one of the 2, maybe both. But Midnight Groove has a real deep cut, moody dance floor kind of groover.
Sick.
Hence the name. And then Feel It, which is a kind of indie dance song that we'll probably be releasing within the next month or so, that we're really proud to just put out there, because I think you could see the trajectory of our sound production and as well as our sound developing, just like what we're trying to make. So I think stay tuned for that. Yeah, we'll definitely be releasing a song or 2 before Same But Different. But it's going to be a lot of marketing across Instagram. So be sure in touch with our socials. And we're also planning tentatively, we'll just put this out here on the radar, a rooftop event in LA. A private one.
Skyscraper type set on the top of the roof.
Definitely gonna have to let me know about that.
Yeah. We'll definitely get you there. And yeah, it's gonna be like 150 people. We're trying to keep it intimate and like low
Sick.
key. So we're excited for that.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like you guys got a lot of good stuff going on. And yeah, let's definitely stay in contact. You know, we'll catch each other, and I know we'll probably see each other in passing, see each other at a show, at a fest. And
Yes,
yeah, let me know
sir.
what you
Yes,
guys
sir.
got going on. I'd love to come out and show support and you know, just be there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well,
All
we
right.
appreciate you having
Yeah,
us on,
Of
Ray. This has
course.
been great.
Of
Yeah.
course, guys.
Later, man.
Thanks for coming on.